Alright, let's try this again. So my first attempt to stream, in true Rainier stupid fashion, didn't have my mic on. So we didn't get to save anything that I talked about, which is a real bummer, because I enjoyed opening all those packs. So what I think I'm going to do today is go through some of the cards I opened. Not all of them, but I definitely just want to quickly go through some of the cool new cards of Ixalan, tell you about my experiences with them. We'll probably build a little deck and try some of them out, but what am I doing? No, we want cards. Excuse me. So this is the card menu. You can breeze through all my cards, but I have quite a few. I have 129 pages of 10 each, so 1,300 pages, or 1,300 cards. 130 is a lot of cards. And they always list in reverse order to their casting costs, which annoys the hell out of me. I always want to see the smallest stuff first, but it does bring up the very biggest card, most expensive card in the game is this clunker. 4/6 for 31 mana. It has Vigilant, so you're going to spend all this mana, you're going to cast it, it's going to block something and die, and you've wasted 100,000 turns. So something, if you're not familiar with this game, mana is a lot higher than paper Magic. I like to think of it as needing to be about 3 times more than what the paper card actually is, but this is nowhere even close. You know, this is ridiculous. No one's gonna play this card ever. But some cards are totally worth it. This guy is a lot of value for 25. This thing is not. This thing, nah. This guy's okay. Anyway, we were just gonna look at Ixalan cards. So you can pull that up. Here's Ixalan. Let's do alphabetical order, because that'll put things in kind of a semi-random order. And we're just going to click through stuff, and then we can look at it one by one. So, starting off, Wily Goblin. This is one of the least expensive creatures in the game for 2 mana. It's okay. I've played with treasures a little bit. I kind of don't have a good feel yet as to if they're awesome or not. It seems like they do more for your opponent than they do for you, because they spawn after you've placed them. I mean, this is always the problem with stuff that spawns on your turn, is your opponent gets to interact with them before you do. And so it's rare for them to stick around, especially since the AI's gotten really good at making crazy cascades happen, so I'm not sure how good treasures are. But this guy seems alright. Kind of the same problem. Big dude, and you give your opponent... I suppose if you give the opponent treasures, when they crack it, you get some benefit out of it too. I don't know. This one could be interesting. Haven't tried him yet. Yeah, fine. I haven't seen any of the merfolk yet that really wowed me. Yeah. This one seems kind of cool. Haven't played with it yet. It's kind of expensive for what it does. I have better mana producers. This seems totally fine. I'm not playing with that one. Didn't try this guy. Maybe we will today. Haven't tried this guy. I think this is pretty okay. Unfortunately, you need another dinosaur, and with only 10 card slots in a deck, this is probably not your best option. Played with this guy, he's fun. This guy's so-so. Again, so something they do in this game is they'll skew stuff around to try and make it fit the Magic the Gathering or Puzzle Quest game from the card version, the paper Magic, and sometimes they make the creature like literally exactly the same. They adjust the mana cost, but sometimes they make it exactly the same. Other times they tweak them a little bit, and in very strange ways sometimes. Like, oh, what's a guy I want to talk about? Nest Invader. We'll get to him. This guy seems pretty cool, though it's only disabled until the end of my turn. So at best you're going to get around some blockers. Haven't played with this yet. It seems kind of cool. You know, it's effectively a blue-black-red card. Trapping is a mechanic they haven't used a lot, but I really like it. It makes makes gems that only you can see have like a trap effect, and when your opponent breaks them, you get these special effects. It's cool. I like seeing that they're doing more with it. The support card, unfortunately, it loses a shield each time, so I haven't played with it, so I don't know how many shields, how many times this can take a hit before it breaks. Hopefully, it's more than 2. I hope this has like 4 or 5, because if not, maybe it sucks. I don't know, maybe. So something they're kind of inconsistent with, spell cards, which are different than support cards. This becomes a permanent on the board that you can interact with. This just, you target one of your creatures and it permanently gains this stuff. It's similar to an enchantment. They're doing more enchant creature stuff like this, where you just give like a permanent buff. In the early sets, like Origins and stuff, it created a support, an actual physical gem that you could interact with, and it only targeted your first creature. So it was kind of clunky. I didn't like it. I like this much better. I think it's much cleaner, even though it's kind of different than what the paper card does. It's basically the same thing. You cast a spell on your creature. If that creature dies, you lose the enchantment, air quotes, and the creature. So I think it works. This guy seems pretty cool. He's kind of expensive, but he can deal quite a bit of damage. The thing with Enraged is damage sticks around, unlike in Paper Magic. So if this guy were to take 3 damage, he would deal 3 to your opponent, and he would be a 5/2 effectively. So he might only do 1 or 2 Enraged before he goes kaput. Haven't played with this. It seems really strange. It could be fun. Maybe we'll play that today too. This seems pretty good. In fact, it is pretty good. I've played around with Raid a little bit. I've tried some fancy stuff to see how well it works. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It means the first creature you cast, no matter what, is not going to have Raid. So, and I guess probably the second one won't either if you're, don't have hasty creatures. So, he's fine. This card's totally fine. And it's reasonably costed. This thing is a mess. So here we have again a lot of mana. That's a lot of mana. That could take 2 or 3 turns to activate. And then it has this problem of having vigilance. So you've wasted 2 or 3 turns dumping all this mana to only get a 3/3. And what's going to happen is your opponent's going to attack with something. It'll block it and it'll die. It has this ability, but this ability is never going to trigger because it's going to block and die before it can ever do this. So Activate 2 means on the turn after this comes into play. So the beginning of your next turn, 2 little special gems pop up, and if you break them, this will happen. So assuming this lives, then these gems come out, and assuming you can activate them, you can deal damage equal to this creature's toughness, which is 3, which is not bad, to the first creature that has one of these 3 abilities. Super hard to use, which is too bad because the Paper Magic version of this thing is excellent. You can really screw people up with this thing, but not in Puzzle Quest. Slice and Twain, totally fine support. The little cantrip, destroy support, awesome. And it's a little pricey, but green has no problem ramping up to that, so it's a great card. Love this guy. Sky Terror, Flying Menace. His name is what he does. 3/3 for 10? Great. Tons of evasion. So hard to, block this thing. The way Menace works is 2 of their creatures has to have one of these defense options, Defender, Vigilance, or Reach. And then on top of it, they both need to have flying. So there aren't a whole lot of flyers with blocking or reach or defender, or vigilance, so this guy's just going to get in for a ton of damage. Okay, this is probably the most interesting card I've played with yet. Exile, I've only played with it a little bit. I was trying it in a pirate deck and wasn't super in love with it, but some things I found out. It'll obviously re-trigger enter the battlefield effects, but things like crew and the pirate's cutlass will get a second activation for your pirate coming in. Raid doesn't work, unfortunately, but any other ETB totally works. I'm interested to see, other things I haven't checked is if the creature gets to attack the turn after you do this, you know, so haste, sort of, and if, what was the other thing? Oh, if this is going to remove all the damage stacked on the creature, so basically like regenerate the creature. It's a cool card. I'm going to really break this thing open to figure out what fun stuff we can do with it. This guy, it's fine. Explorers, I'm still kind of on the fence about it. I haven't figured it out. It's kind of expensive for a 2/3. I think there's better things you can do for 14 mana, but he's alright for now. This thing I think is pretty good. Now I know I've gone on about blockers, but he's got 7 toughness, and you want him to die anyway, so soak up some damage, draw a bunch of cards, fine. Totally fine. They made him an uncommon. He's a common in Paper Magic, and he's not good in paper. He's alright here. You could do some shenanigans with him, I'm sure. Like, for example, you soak up a bunch of damage, and then flicker him, and soak up more damage, and draw more cards. I don't know, not the best idea. This card seems super cool. Target creature gains prevent damage until the beginning of your next turn. Sounds good. Pick one of the next 2 cards from your library, fetch that card, and destroy the other. So this is Puzzle Quest version of Scry, but I think this is great. I love prevent damage until the end of your turn. Like, you know, you stick this on your Shorekeeper, and now it just doesn't take damage that turn and blocks a whole bunch of damage. And then you get to draw a card anyway, and then you can let this die and draw your 3 cards. Yeah, it's cool. Cool effect combo right there. Okay, so I did get a rare Merfolk. Haven't tried him. 16 mana for a 4/4. First creature you control gets +2/+2. Again, here's this activate thing. So not the turn he comes into play, the turn after, and assuming you can break it, and assuming you have another creature in play. Then at the end of my turn, if you control another buffed creature, meaning you've given it a 2/2 or really anything, draw a card. So-so. Okay, this card seems nuts. This is a one-sided board wipe. Let's see what it does. When it enters the board, creatures your opponent control have, when this creature attacks, convert 4 gems to your opponent's color. So, creatures... Oh, sorry, I was reading it wrong. When this creature attacks, meaning your opponent's creature, convert 4 gems to your planeswalker color, and exile this creature, the creature that attacked, at the end of turn, and then destroy this. So, this is gonna wreck people, for sure, I'm hoping. I want to play with this. This seems super cool. Draw a card, the support loses 1 shield. When it's destroyed, exile all cards from graveyard. You can't see graveyards at this point, and there's not a lot of interaction with them. Best thing this would do would shut down like things that pop back from the graveyard, like oh, what's that annoying Kaladesh creature? Forge guy. Nah, this would get rid of him, and thank God. But still, who cares? I don't think this is worth having in your deck. This guy's cool, but yeah, again, you have to watch out for these activations, especially ones that screw up your own stuff. Because if you get a crazy epic cascade, you can just blow away your first creature on accident. And I've done it before, it's super annoying. It might be playable, I don't know. Enters the battlefield, creature gets +1/+1. Another Merfolk, who cares? Seems fine. I love this little froggy. He's had a few too many +1/+1 counters. This guy started off as a tree frog, and then keep pumping counters into him. Now look at him. Okay, sorry. This I think is pretty okay. It's a first strike. That's what this symbol means. It's a 2/2 first strike for 11. Alright, but if you rate it, it gets +2/+2. So a 4/4 first strike seems fine. I played with this. Again, treasures are really easy to destroy, and so I wasn't able to get the second part of this to control 3 or more treasures, and it's really expensive. Like, to get your mana back, you have to just go crazy with treasure, and I don't think it's going to happen. I think it should give 3 mana to each card in your hand, or something. The original card says you win the game. This doesn't feel like winning the game. This barely feels like, you know, anything. It should, maybe if you control 3 or more treasures, each card in your hand gains mana equal to the number of treasures you control, or something like that. That would be powerful. But no. Here's another enraged guy, 3/2 for 9. It'll probably get you 1 activation and die, and gain you 2 life. Boring. I'm not even crazy about this as a paper magic card. And I love me some dinosaurs, but no, boring. This guy's great. There's a weird animation for enraged. Your creature, like, comes back up off the side of the screen like, I'm back! And you get a dinosaur, and then it dies. It's weird. But this card's pretty good. And it's so adorable. Haven't played with this, again, because of enraged. It could be fine. Maybe we'll play with it today. I always also only see the Parasaurolophus and not the raptors. Like, I don't know why. I know it's about the raptors, but I see the big guy. So I always think he's the dinosaur in charge here. This guy... 16 for a 4/4 menace. Shuts off lifelink, or life gain. But you damage yourself and you damage your opponent. I'm not crazy about him. I played Paper Magic this yesterday in a 4-person commander game, and I wasn't doing anything, but everyone said I did more damage than everything else, because for about 20 turns, this was the only thing I had in play. I was getting land screwed. And I, took everyone down for like 20 damage. And they still didn't attack me or try to remove this. It's weird. It has this really weird benign effect that no one cares about. But then, especially in a game of Commander, and suddenly you're like, oh god, this has done a huge amount of damage. So that was fun. I built a pirate deck and I played with this and I never got to cast it. I think this card is nuts. Whenever your opponent discards a card, that player loses 3 life. There are so many ways to make your opponent discard cards. You could probably just kill someone with just that right there. At the end of your turn, if you rate it, your opponent discards a card. So, they're guaranteed, not guaranteed, it's highly likely they will be discarding at least 1 card a turn and losing 3 life just from 1 creature attacking. This is a very powerful card. This guy's fun. Big beefy stomper. Does all your enraged stuff. Awesome. And I cracked him in a pack, so I didn't need to buy the little thing in the store with Kinjali Sunwing? Suncaller? Something like that? The big pterodactyl. So, save myself $4 right there. Draw 2 cards, find a treasure. Nah. Fine. Haven't tried it, but it's probably fine. This thing, Pirate's Cutlass. So, if you flicker a pirate with that blue spell back there. I'm really bad with the names. I knew them all by the picture. Siren Through? Yeah. This will give it a second activation. This is worded really strange and confusing. Whenever a non-token pirate enters the battlefield under your control, if the support is in your hand, reduce its cost by 2 mana. And by it means Pirate's Cutlass. Their wording on cards is really strange and inconsistent. Sometimes I wonder why they don't use just the exact card phrasing. This one's a little different than the Paper Magic card, obviously. But sometimes they copy the card exactly over, and they don't, like, you'll see it on, like, artifact and enchantment removal. Their wording is totally inconsistent, but the cards do all the same thing. It's like, support your opponent controls is destroyed, or destroy a support your opponent controls, or, you know, just, they never say the same thing twice. It's really frustrating. Return the first creature your opponent controls to its owner's hand. If the creature has 10 or less... creature cost... I can't read. If the creature's cost was 10 or less, draw a card. For 8, seems fine. I think this guy's going to be super fun. I'm super excited to build a vampire deck. I have a very fun card to show you guys that I could build a very fun vampire deck out of. We might do that today. I think this guy's going to be great for the 1/1 vampire lifelink token strategy. I think that's the whole shtick, is just, you know, you put creatures in and effects that give you 1/1 vampires. And then just go nuts and keep them alive and gain tons of health. Sounds awesome. This guy's tricky. He's an 8/8 for 2, which is fine. He makes dinosaurs cost less, which is great. Pardon me. Here's where it gets weird. First off, Activate 1 isn't highlighted like on other cards, but his Activate only affects dinosaurs in play. So you somehow have to get a dinosaur in play and then activate it. So by way of gaining another turn or something. They're really bad about, you know, abilities that give haste. It needs to give stuff in your hand haste. But still, I think this guy's pretty okay. Target creature gains flying 2/2 for 10. So since creatures don't block naturally, evasion effects aren't as good. So flying, menace, unblockable, stuff like that. I mean, it's like, okay, I gave an unblockable creature another type of unblockable. Nah, seems like a lot for 10 mana. Sure, it's a lot of mana. That is another thing the game has problems with. The designers make ramp really expensive, so you need to like ramp into your ramp. I'm also noticing the girth of this dinosaur's back leg. Look at that. It's massive. This guy's got some... This is a Thunder Thizosaurus. Okay, here's a card that I think was unnecessarily tweaked. In Paper Magic, this is a 2/1 for 2. And they thought that was too powerful, so they made it a 1/1. And it's like, your opponent usually has somewhere around 80 to 100 hit points. So like, why? Make him 6 and make him a 2/2. Like, keep the mana cost the same, or like scaled up, you know, times 3, and keep him a 2/1. There's no reason to make him a 1/1. Like, he'd maybe be playable as a 2/1. I don't think he's playable as a 1/1. This card seems fine. Yeah, this is another one that activated off of Siren's Ruse. Oh, you see my mythic? Can you tell what it is? Yeah, works well on Siren's Ruse. Unfortunately, I was playing an event where like everyone was just dumping their hand before I could even cast it, so I haven't gotten to use it much. But I like counterspells, and this is their way of doing counterspell. You drain mana out of their hand, which I think is a very elegant way to represent a counterspell. Okay, here we go. Legion's Landing. This is the vampire plan. So, when it enters the battlefield, you get a 1/1 white vampire, which you're like, wow, that's 10 mana for a 1/1. You were just talking about how much you hated paying 4 for a 1/1. But, if you know Magic, you know this flips over. Ooh, excuse me. At the beginning of your turn, convert 2 gems to white, and activate 2 white, create 2 1/1. So, sometimes what happens, if you're lucky, this conversion will activate your own thing. So not only do you gain some mana, you get like kind of a bonus swap, and you get some bonus creatures. This was a totally fine pickup. I like this paper card a lot, and I like this mythic a lot. I got this in a prize pack after playing in the event. In all the packs I cracked the other day, even though I had a 27-something% of getting a mythic, I didn't get one, so I was very happy to get this one. We should play with this today. It's fun. I've already put it in the deck. It's good. I like it. I'm not quite sure what that symbol means, but I'm sure it has something to do with, you know, the fact that this is a flip card. I flip, or I'm a pinwheel, or God, now that I'm looking at it, it's like, it's not far off from a swastika, so super cool. Good work. Another vampire. This guy's cool. 3/3. So there's an artifact creature that does something similar. I think it's an automaton from Kaladesh. And it's a 2/2, I think for like 7 or 8. And it means you always have a creature to cast. So I think this guy's kind of the same thing, only he's in white. And I think he's a little stronger, and he's a vampire, so great. Freebooter. Best name ever. There's another pirate that makes your opponent discard that I think is a little better than this guy. This guy is flying. He's a 3/3 for 8. So he's pretty okay, but your opponent gets to draw a card, and it's the last card, and it's a non-creature card. He feels like he's very limited in what he can do, so I don't think he's as good as the other pirate. Okay, so this is the guy that's in the store right now for $4, and I was gonna buy him, but I opened him and the other 2 cards in the little special, so I'm not gonna buy it now. 13 mana for 3/3 flying. Totally fine. When it says flying, and this guy doesn't say flying, but we have flying here. Flying. Maybe this text is flying. Maybe that's what's going on. Flying. While this creature's on the battlefield, and also this is something kind of drives me nuts, in Paper Magic, card text is only relevant when cards are on the battlefield, unless otherwise stated. You know, if it's something you can do from your hand, it says, yada yada yada, do this from your hand, or yada yada yada, do this from your graveyard, yada yada yada, do this from exile. So it's sort of implied that his ability only works while he's on the battlefield, but they never really got the memo on that. Anyway, while he's on the battlefield, creatures your opponent control enter the battlefield disabled, which is this game's version of tapped. It means they can't attack, block, their abilities do nothing. Conveniently, it shuts off hexproof. It's probably the best part of disabled. Until the beginning of your opponent's next turn. So, big swing right here. Totally, I haven't actually played with him yet, but he's awesome. I like the dinosaurs. I was glad to get the rare dinosaur. This guy's awful, again, because he has block. He'll come in, he'll block something and die, and you won't get to make your dinos cheaper. Sad face. When this enters the battlefield, target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 1 life. Activate 1, convert 3 gems to loyalty gems. This is one of the few things in the game that use loyalty gems. Loyalty gems are little gems that don't give you mana, they give you effectively power for your planeswalker powers. They're like on planeswalker cards, loyalty points. And they don't have a lot of things that interact with it. For 17 mana, I don't think it's worth running, but it's cool. I like they're using this new resource, or, you know, playing with that design space a little more. I think this guy's bad. 14 mana for a 4/4. Seems alright. Vampire Soldier, okay. But here's the problem. You have these activations, which you could totally lose control of. You could activate accidentally and give your guy Vigilance and lose them, and you'd lose a life out of the deal. Similarly, you can give it an evasion effect. It's 2 activations, so this is going to put out 4 activations on his turn, right? So there's a good chance you're going to activate one of them. Do you care about flying? Probably not. Do you care about Vigilance? It'd be handy if you needed it, but it's tricky. So, no, I'm sorry, I don't think you're going to ever be played. 11 mana for 6 damage. There's better cards. 11 mana for 3, maybe 6. No, totally better cards. 2 damage to each non-pirate. I think this is totally playable. This is great for Enraged, actually. You know, ping all your dinosaurs for 2. Do it. And maybe clear off your opponent's board if you're lucky. Field of Ruin. This one I have to read over and over again. It's not good. Let's just not even read it, because I'll screw it up. +1/+1's a little weak. If you build a flying deck, I could see this being really good. Unfortunately, supports stack. Or don't stack, rather. So if you cast Favorable Winds, no matter how many Favorable Winds you cast, you're only going to get a passive 1/1 buff. So if it said this does not what do they say? They don't reinforce. So if you could have more than one of these out, it would be awesome, but you can't. Cool art, though. Nope, I don't like this guy. At best, he's a 4-2 for 6. Doesn't do enough. This card is bonkers. In fact, I may have forgotten to put this in my dinosaur deck I built. We'll go look at that in a sec. 5/5/5, and Berserker until, oops, end of turn. Oh no! Berserker is an ability that creatures don't inherently block, right? So if you give something Berserker, if I gave my creature Berserker, it's going to attack my opponent's first creature. So this is kind of like Green's version of removal, or fight. It's similar to a fight effect. Excellent card. Playing the shit out of this. First other vampire you control gets +2/+0 and flying. Might be alright. Haven't tried it yet. Love that art. So cool. Here's Big Clunker. Get out of here. Duress. I like discard effects. This one's a little expensive, and it's the first non-creature. It's nice it's the first, so you can blow a spell out of their hand, or a big nasty support, but there's better cards, unfortunately. It's good, it's fine. It's not great. This guy's a little expensive, but he has this ramp, and this is quite good. Also, so he's a 3/3 for 11. It's kind of pricey, but if you have a dinosaur, he's a 5/5 for 11. He's a 5/5 mana dork. He's an uncommon. He's great. I wish he cost a little less and was a 1/1 that became a 3/3. Why? Anyway, good card. I'm not sold on this guy. He's a lot of mana. He's at best a 4/4. No, pass. I tried this guy. I had a hard time getting him killed, but I think he's alright. I wish he cost a little less. At best, this is a... He gets each other pirate, so he doesn't count himself when he attacks, so at best he's a 5/5. Kind of a bummer. That doesn't do anything else. 4/4 for 8. Seems fine. You'll probably have a sport, and with treasure, yeah. This guy might get in. He's kind of boring otherwise. Fine. Cheap support removal. Has to be a non-land, but that's not a huge issue. Actually, that's kind of good, because if they have stuff that's like screwing up your board, or like, you know, I'd probably hit a treasure half the time. Oh well. There are no targeted support removal, which is driving everyone in this game nuts. Who's he? Yeah, I don't care about that guy. Here's the guy that makes you discard. I think this guy's pretty darn good. He costs a little bit more. He's a 3/3, but you definitely get rid of something. So that's cool. And they don't get to draw a card. Cool. Like him. Here you can fetch your big 31 mana clunker vehicle. I don't think this guy's going to be great. It does have the ETB, so you could Siren's Ruse it, but nah. Haven't tried this guy. I think he's a little underpowered, but if you build the right support deck, he could be pretty nuts. Not quite as good as the one that gives 5/5 and Berserk. Berserk is better than Trample. Trample does exactly the same thing as Paper Magic, but if creatures don't have unblockable, or if creatures have unblockable, then like, who cares? When they first released this card, it was something like 10 mana. It cost as much as a kill spell to destroy one of your own creatures and draw a card. I'm really glad they brought it down. I think this could be playable. I think so. Like, these were exactly the same cost. I was like, okay, I can destroy one of my own creatures for 10 and draw 2 cards, or I can destroy one of my opponent's creatures and get 2 treasures. I think I'll be playing this instead. I think this card's great. I've played with this. It's kind of silly. It does a lot of different stuff. It's actually not that hard to flip. I like that it makes a support that makes a token. So that's super interesting right there, because there's a couple of cool cards that can increase tokens or double up tokens. It gains shields, so this would be good in a deck that you build shields up, like Tezzeret version 1. Just, you know, spam it to work. It's not the most powerful on this side, but you do get this, and you get a lot of little abilities, so it's cool. It's a very versatile card, and I think it's fairly reasonably costed. And it doesn't have vigilance, so it gets to attack and stuff. Huzzah! Big stupid dinosaur. He's okay. There's better ones. Like, I really want the red guy that has haste. I didn't open one of him, unfortunately. I'm surprised they didn't make him a rare, to be honest, because in Paper Magic, he probably could be a rare. He's so good. Huh. So they bought these sales at Target, I just realized. Look. This could be okay. Discarding a card is pretty darn useful in this game. There's a lot of ways to, you know, cheat stuff into play. One of my favorite cards is Godpharaoh's Tomb. That card is nuts. We'll probably play with that today. It just doubles up your value on discard and, you know, destroying your own creatures. Is that the end? Oh, what happened? Did things get shuffled? I guess so. Oh, they were in reverse alphabetical order. Weird. So that is haste. That's a hasty ability. So he's a 3/3 for 13 haste. I don't think he's very good. Okay. We've looked at all the cards. Let's look at one of the decks I built. So I've been trying to build a good Samet deck for the longest time, and I have built 2. So here's all the roster of Planeswalkers. I have almost all of them. There's a few that I just don't think look very interesting. I thought most of these Planeswalkers were totally worth it. A few have not been. We'll talk about them some other time. So here's my one Samet deck that I really, really like. It's Minotaurs. And it basically what it does is it gets down 1 Minotaur and you just start discarding your hand and making your 2 Minotaurs really big and discarding your opponent's hand. It's a lot of fun. It's very effective. It's very fast. It kills your opponent quick. So when you build a deck, you're constrained by certain factors. You can't just throw in. You couldn't put 10 creatures in a deck. See up here. This is saying I have 6 creatures. 4, this is spells, and 0 supports. I hate that these two icons are so similar. Like, they're very arbitrary, and I don't think either one of them ties to a spell. I wish this one sort of looked like a fireball or something. Well, a lightning bolt would be cool. You know, something that looks like action. This, I don't know, this looks like an atom, and this looks like a shiny atom. I don't know. I don't think they're distinct enough. Anyway, so this is the deck I came up with, and I'm going to make a change. So we have Thundering Spineback, Otek, Huntmaster, so a couple of things that ramp. I would honestly like, oh, and this guy's an honorary dinosaur. He's a big lizard, and he's ramp. This thing is unbelievably good. So you have to get to 6 mana, but then you cycle him, and you just make craziness happen and cast your hand. I'm gonna take out so this is a crazy spell that gives something haste. That is delightful, but I'm gonna take it out. Same with this Heroic Intervention. So I found the prevent damage nerfs enraged. They just don't even take the damage. So you don't get the enraged trigger. So we're going to take that out, and we're going to take that out. And let's go get Mark of the Devil. This dinosaurs are the devil, apparently. So you can search cards based on lots of factors. I actually really like this screen. It makes it really easy to figure out what cards you want. Additionally, if you know the name of the card, you can just go look for it. Or if you know that it gives an ability, like Berserker, and hopefully I spelled Berserker right. Apply. Nope, I probably didn't spell it right. Well, let's not worry about it. We know it's from Ixalan. We know it's a spell. We know it's green. There it is. How do you spell Berserker? Berserker. I can't spell. Did I mention I'm a fine arts major? Cool. So we have that. I think the other thing I'm going to put in is just one more thing to ramp us a little bit, because I was having a hard time hitting my mana reliably. So we're going to get a colorless enchantment. I think it's from Amonkhet, and it's a rare. We want Sheltered Thicket. Converts gems, lets us cycle it. Groovy. Alright. So as you can see, this deck can have at most 9 creatures, at most 4 spells, and at most 4 supports. But but total 10 cards. So you kind of have to play a balancing act. I find having more than 5 creatures means you'll have stuff out. This deck actually has 6, so that's a lot. But this guy you almost never cast, you just cycle him. 5 creatures is a lot, especially since this guy makes a creature and this guy makes a creature, but you're kind of counting on this guy to die, and you really only need 1 of these guys in play at a time. So like, one of these guys, one of the big dino dorks, and maybe this guy to make little dino dorks. You know, something along those lines. For removal, we have a Braid, 6 damage to a creature, and it deals the support. This was recently broken, or recently fixed. It was not working very well, but I'm glad it is now, because this is an excellent card. So much value. And we have this, which is just kind of our win condition. This card is insane. 8 mana, +8/+8, trample and Berserker to all your creatures until end of turn. You can just win the game with this spell. Unfortunately, it doesn't ask if you want to cast it, so if you cascade and you don't have it deactivated, it'll just cast. It's not bad, you'll probably kill something with it, but... Okay, that looks good. Save. And let's go find an event. Let's see if we have a card to unlock, or open. And then we'll actually do some magicking. We do! Cross your fingers. Some new, you can see the percentage. I have a less than 1% chance of getting a mythic. Cool! Don't let that throw you. I've played this game for 2 years, and I've paid a total of something like $8, $10 for all the cards that I've bought. And I have a ton of mythics, including I have 1 masterpiece. So don't be dissuaded by that. You will get mythics eventually. Let's see what we get. Let's see that shake. No shake. Alright. I played with this card. It's alright. Cool. So this is the card forging system. If you open a card you already have, you get points towards leveling up your planeswalkers and these blue orbs that you can exchange for another pull of the lottery of rareness of your choice. Rarity of your choice. Alright, let's pop over to an event and we'll try out our dinosaur deck. Alrighty. I have been hating this event. It is so hard. Let's play some Hour of Devastation. What do these say? Lose 3 or less creatures. So that's not dinosaurs. We want them getting destroyed. This is perfect. 3 or less spells. Cast 3 or... Actually, this is bad. Let's go back to... That was dumb. I should have just backed up so we don't have to watch that load screen again. If you ever need to refresh the game, just go to load screen and it recycles everything. Let's do this. we'll try to get some of these achievements by playing our dinosaur deck. I doubt we will win in 4 rounds, but let's give it a shot. We're going to play Dino Deck, and I'll kind of explain how the game works as we play it. As mentioned, it's a little different than Paper Magic. Notably, you start with, we'll just, go through turn by turn, but we're going to start the game. We always start first, and we get to draw a card on our first turn. So here's the board I'm talking about. You match gems to make gems fall and cascade, similar to like Candy Crush or any game like that. So, because we're a red-green planeswalker, so here's our abilities. We obviously want red and green. We get +5 when we make a green match and +5 when we make a red match, and these minuses over here. So we really want to get these. These are our loyalty abilities, so we need 9 loyalty. We can gain loyalty by matching these little planeswalker gems, and it's just 1. There's no bonuses to that. So we would get 3 for making that match. However, every time we match just normal gems, we get 1. So our first ability gives target creature we control +1/+1 and double strike until end of turn. Boom. That's awesome on a Berserk creature. This one gives a creature Berserk permanently, and Trample, and Afflict. Afflict you might know from Hour of Devastation. That means even if your creature is blocked, it deals damage. Something interesting in this Magic Puzzle Quest, if your creature blocks, it also afflicts back. So you can really dome someone out with that. This final ability is not amazing. When a creature you control deals damage to your opponent takes 6 extra damage. So that's great if your thing has double strikes, you just get 12 extra damage. It's not amazing. We'll probably use this. I actually really like this one, because if you put this on like a first strike creature, it just becomes a killing machine. Alright, so we need to win in, 5 or less rounds? You can see your objectives down here. 4 or less rounds. I doubt that's going to happen. But we will give it a try. What's in our hand? Oh yeah, we're not winning in 5 rounds. We have a big stompy creature and some spells. So you can move spells around. Come on. See, I could put that one first. And mana's going to go, it's going to fill up this one first, then it's going to fill up this one, then it's going to fill up this one. And I usually find you want to start building up a creature first, but seeing as though it's a huge creature, we're going to start charging this up first. And by clicking them on and off, if I gain full mana of that, it would try and cast it without me wanting to. I think this one has a prompt asking if I want to, but still, just as practice, I try to turn them off. Alright, put that away. You can look at your opponent's stuff. They have abilities. This is a AI controlled deck. All decks are controlled by the AI, I should say. But this is a pre-assembled one for this event. This is an old, Battle for Zendikar deck, or Oath of the Gatewatch deck. Gain +3 mana and get +1/1 to one creature you control on the battlefield. This is very weak. This is a level 11, whatever arbitrary thing that means. I mean, he's only got 36 health. But still, we can't do 36 damage in 4 turns. So, here we go. Swipe 1. Nice little cascade. Do we have 2 of those in our hand now? No, but man, we can really wreck house when our creatures come down. So the AI's gotten really good at taking your mana. It was always pretty good at it. It was kind of its winning strategy. It's because it doesn't really know what its cards do. I think it looks at like rarity and maybe what's somewhat applicable, but it doesn't know what it's doing half the time. So to counteract that, it just plays your mana. It's really annoying. We don't have a great match here, so I guess this is what we'll do. Got a whole 2 mana. Alright, so here's an equipment. So they made equipment. I like what they did with equipment. It becomes a permanent thing, and it affects the first creature they control. I wish it was the first attacking creature, because I have ways, if I were to disable his first creature, I've effectively disabled his Strider Harness. So it's only going to give his first creature haste. I think that's kind of silly. But, great, we got another one. We might be playing this event again. Okay. Let's look at what we can do to gems. Again, we don't have great options. This, I think, is our best play. So we get that, and we get that. So he just matched 5. So that means he got to make one more swap. Oh, finally. Will we get to cast this guy? I don't know. And since these cards are really similar, I'm just going to get rid of this, because you can't draw more than... You can't have more than 6 cards in your hands, with the exception of one card that lets you do it. And it's nuts. It's actually not a very good card, but just the best part about it is you get to have more cards in your hand. And it looks really weird, because these icons start shrinking. I'm like motioning with my hand. It's kind of funny. Okay, again, see what I mean? It's like all we're getting to match is blue. We've done 0 damage, and I think this is our turn 4. Oh, thank goodness. Maybe we can do stuff this turn. Nope, that was our turn 5. Let's do this. Ah! So here's a little cheat. So the way cycling pulls mana, it also pulls mana from the first card in your hand. And we've got all this mana saved up, but we really want to get this guy. You know, we're going to try for this guy. Go big or go home, right? Come on. Grab. There. Yes. Another one! Oh boy. So... That kind of whiffed. We're going to keep going for this guy. I don't think it matters. We're going to win this game. We're not worried about that. It's just, you know, this is thrilling gameplay for sure. So there's another kind of support. They made lands into supports. You have to pay mana for them, and they're always way too expensive. They make ramping way too expensive. Yeah, like, who cares? This is so bad. That whole block of like cards that did stuff, like you just really 4 of them. Yeah. So this is another thing. There's big qualms with the randomization of decks. I've read that the way the game creates a deck initially is it takes 4 copies of each card in your deck and randomizes them. And once you get through those 40, it generates 40 new ones. So if you ever see like this weird momentary slowdown, you probably won't see it in this game, but it's because it has to generate 40 more cards. So what that means sometimes, because random is random, is you will get, I've been calling them veins, like mining, you know, veins of Thundering Spinebacks. And it can really screw you up. It can really screw you up. Alright, we're still not doing anything. Gain some mana. Alright, we're gonna... No, we're still not getting him out. Wow, this sucks. I sure would like to cast spells and do stuff. Let's do this. Oh, that was dumb. I missed that green right there. Well, we got him out anyway. Huzzah. Finally. Alright, I think we can win this turn. Finally. We're going to turn that on. Right? And we're going to give double strike to one of these dudes. I'm going to swap these. Black's going to fall down. We're going to get some extra stuff going on. Wow. Big damage, big time. So we didn't even come close. Should we try it again? That fight was super boring. Should we try a different deck? No, I want to get this one. I want to get this dinosaur one going a few times, and then maybe we'll try that other event. Play one of my crazy bonkers decks. Try it again. And okay, so here's something that's kind of interesting and different. If I were to have lost any health in that fight, it would have persisted to now. You slowly gain health back. It's actually not that slow. It's like 10 minutes and you're topped off. But you can heal it with, there's a little health potion that shows up down here, and you get like 3 every, I don't know what it is, half hour or something. It's usually not a problem. Interesting, they've never made a way for you to buy more health potions. Like, you know, sometimes you just need to like buy a health potion. You know, charge me 99 cents for like 3 more health potions or something. I bet people would buy it. Anyway, let's try that again. Also, I love this piece of music. I think it just has cool, ominous tones to it. I don't like this piece of music as much, but it's okay. I usually play with the sound off, so it's kind of nice to hear the sounds, the music again. The sound effects are kind of cheesy, but oh well. Alright, so we got a match 5 right here. This is going to help us get our deck going. Theoretically. We're trying to get our Otech guy, right? We need 4 mana. I don't think it's going to happen. I move this down. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's not going to work. What is he like? So this is sometimes a good way to figure out what play to make when you don't have a good play. So he wants black, though it doesn't really matter. He gets a small bonus for black. There are no black tiles to choose. So we're just going to take this. Haha, he didn't take my green. You fool! Alright, this is going to be great. So then we'll get this out also. Turn that off. We're going to do these green. White's going to drop down. Maybe we'll get something else out of the deal. Not bad. We got our Sheltered Thicket. Oh, we got a bonus swap? I didn't even see that. So this is going to convert 2 gems are converted to red or green. Sometimes it's 2 red, sometimes it's 2 green. Sometimes it kind of bites you in the ass. Like sometimes you'll have a match 5 at the end of your opponent's turn and you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to get a match 5, and it'll change like one of them so you don't get a match 5 anymore. And you're like, why? I was going to win that turn. Alright, so here's a cool play. We don't have anything else great to do, so we're going to match these 4 black. And when you match 4, it clears the line out. And that's cool because we're going to get these loyalty, and we're going to get this white, and probably some other stuff. Oh yeah, 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 yeah! Cool. Let's turn that on. Let's turn this on. What happens if we give him double strike? We have 1 more turn to win. We're going to give him double strike. Boop. So this is the activation gem. See, when I click it, it makes him glow. And, oh weird. The text box changed a little bit. That's weird. This would give dinosaurs haste. Notably dinosaurs on the battlefield. It's kind of strange. Anyway, here goes nothing. You're gonna get this one. So he's gonna be a 13-13 double strike. It's not gonna be quite enough to kill him. But he's hurting. Oh darn. Fortunately, we have failed to beat him in 4 again. That's pretty insane. I could probably do this with a different deck. This is just kind of a fool around deck. Alright, let's throw a Braid out. What is this guy? Yeah, so like 17 mana for a 5/5. Process, boy, they did a number on Process. Not that it was a very good mechanic in Paper Magic anyway, but anyway, let's do this. Let's upbraid this Eldrazi. So Braid used to not work if the opponent didn't have a support out. But then it would work if they had a support out but not a creature. So here we are. We didn't hit any of our dinosaurs. Just OTEP Hunk Masters. OTEP Hunk Masters. Let's give our non-existent dinosaurs haste. Huzzah! Alright, let's try a little bit of a spicier opponent. Because this guy isn't a challenge other than that beating in 4 rounds. I totally have a deck that I can win in 4 rounds with. Maybe I'll play that. I really just want to like highlight the new Ixalan stuff. It's really hard to talk on stream is what I'm finding. I feel bad for all those streamers that I turned off because I couldn't stand listening to them talk, but it's really hard. Give them a break. Lose 6 or more creatures. We don't want to play that because that is a green creature and we will just be fighting for mana the whole time. Drana's chosen. No, not with Saheeli. Let's go with her neighbor Samet. And let's roll. I don't know what piece of art or what card this piece of art is from. It's really beautifully illustrated, but this thing back here weirds me out. Okay, it's not a great hand. Since we don't have a creature, we're gonna get a kill spell ready, and actually we're gonna dump mana into. No, we're gonna go like this. Because even if we fill this one up, this only needs to take 6 mana from that. So this is a black planeswalker. She wants black, a little bit of red, a little bit of blue. If we can somehow gain red mana and screw up her black, that would be good. But I don't see that happening unless we go like this. And she still got an okay turn over there. All right, cool. We finally got a dinosaur. Put him in front. And hold on 1 minute, there is someone knocking at my door. Alright, I'm back. I took that opportunity to get myself a glass of water. We got a monstrous package delivered. Who knows what it is? Okay, as we were saying, we're going to discard Shefet Monitor, and get a bunch of green mana, right? Ooh, spicy. Alright, that was pretty good. Then, probably crack those blues even though they don't do much for us, but that'll be fine. Let's turn that off so it doesn't auto cast. Go! Another big stompy dino. Alright. Just see what he does. Okay, yeah. I couldn't remember if he gave other dinosaurs +1/+1. Yep. Keep charging him up. Let's see, what's a good play here? Nothing great. The AI just goes for your mana and screws you up. I don't want to do this one, I don't think, because that'll drop a black mana right there, so we're going to actually take this one over here on the side. And they're going to take my red, probably. Yeah, it's my red. I had dibs. Dibs! Ah! You cast, I think, a mythic. I don't know if it's true for rare. I think it's when you cast a mythic, you get the little choir sound. It's silly. Now it's a good thing we had that Abrade already charged up, because now we need to cast it. And again, we still don't have great mana choices. I guess... Yeah, keep them off their black, and that'll work out for both of us. So, click on them again, you can see the creature you're targeting, which is kind of handy. This is Kalitas, or Kalitas, trader of Get. He makes zombies, and often kills other zombies, even when it's not appropriate for him, because the AI is kind of stupid, and also these activated gems can really bite you in the butt. Boom. Boom! Oh man, you're gonna be so angry once I finally get all these dinosaurs out and I can, like, do stuff. But that's gonna be a long time from now. So often, the game always gives you hints as to a play. If there's no plays possible, it resets the board, usually in your opponent's favor. It tends to be that the AI just makes it so you can't play anything ever, and then you're left with like one bad swap and it doesn't do anything, and the board totally resets, and your opponent gets a fresh pick of the mana, and they just have like this huge cascade. If you see that happen, you probably lose. It's hard to come back from. Anyway, I actually think this is our better play because we get a little bit of mana and these loyalty gems. Ooh, that was a pretty okay swap. Alright, alright. Oh, thank goodness. Something that ramps. And he'll enter the board as a 5/5, so that's fun. Let's see. Is there any way I can get this? I can't get both the red and the green, I don't think. Yeah, that's a bummer. So I think we're gonna go for the red, or the green. So that's her ability. She just makes a 2/2 zombie. Oh, and gain 6 mana, and convert 3 gems to black. It's pretty bonkers. That can get out of control, for sure. I think our play here is to keep going for these red. I don't want to drop that down because I don't have a black, but he has a black match right there. And we're just going to do this one. Well, actually, let's do this. We're going to give that creature Afflict, so we can just clear out his zombies every turn. And we're going to rearrange this, so if we need to, we can just trample over next turn. Go away. It gets +2/+2 because I control the dinosaur. So here's what I mean. This damage sticks around. There's a couple of ways to remove it. Probably the best way to sort of rejuvenate your creatures is just to cast more creatures. They will, what the game calls reinforce, meaning it'll just add. If I were to cast another one of these guys, it would just get +6/+6 basically, and you know, you would trigger its stuff again. Alright, we've got a big stupid flying dude. I'm gonna do Emergent Growth. I'm gonna try to get Abrade online. I would really like more mana this game. We have been hurting for mana this whole afternoon, really. And again, we don't have a good match. Oh yes, we do. I lied. We have a good one right here. Yeah! We're gonna give him +5/+5. So the damage that he takes now is going to be absorbed by the 5/5 when that buff ends at the end of the turn. I'm gonna braid this dumb thing. We can't kill it, but we got rid of one of his enchantments, and that damage will stick around, meaning we just need to do 2 more damage to this, which is a lot easier than 8. now we're in a pickle. Because that thing's just getting bigger and bigger. Son of a biscuit. What's this? Oh, this converts gems. I guess that's our play. We haven't got much else to do. See, it didn't help us much that turn. Oof. That'd be nice to get out. We really need mana, so we're gonna go for this sheltered thicket. So I could match this 4 right here, but I actually want to move this one over so we have 3, and this drops down and we get these green. That's my secret tech. Okay, we got an enchantment. Now, it put it right in line with this red, and they might go for it, because the AI tends to go for match 4s above all else. Didn't need to. It had a crazy bonkers turn, and he kills my dino. I'm sad. We really need mana. We don't need that now. So here it is telling me to make this match. It's like, why? There's tons of mana over here that I'm going to try and get. It's not great, but it's kind of best I can do. What's their health? We're going to just go for the swing, I think. I don't know if we'll be able to get the... Oh yeah, we got it. You. We're not going to kill him, but we're going to... Let's see if we can get an overcome going. Stop! Oh, and here's another match. Alright, we're going to go for it. This is the double overcome. Oh yeah! This is gonna be glorious. Don't you hate it when your opponent out of nowhere gets a 25-25 double strike trample? This game's so broken. Now it doesn't matter what we do. Alright, more mana. Boom. Yeah, overcome is stupid. Overcome is so powerful. Okay, that was fun. Let's play with... Let's build a vampire deck. I played with pirates. I didn't really like them. Kind of similar to paper magic. Just they're kind of all over the place, doing all sorts of weird stuff. It's hard to like figure out a strategy without like the really, really good ones. Which I think kind of makes sense for pirates. They kind of need like a captain to like give them direction. A bunch of just dirtily scoundrels, dirtily scoundrels running around being jerks doesn't get much done. And that was kind of my experience of Ixalan draft. Okay, let's build. So they recently added, as well as deck slots, this great thing called an event deck slot. So it's like a temporary deck slot. It only works for this particular event. If I went to a different event after this, it wouldn't be there. It doesn't. You can't save it. It'd be kind of nice, like if you really liked it, there was like a save option, you know, and it would like overwrite one of your current deck slots. But that's, you know, a pretty minor thing. All right, let's look at what we have at red and white. I know we're gonna for sure want that. And Soren cares about gaining life. So we're going to figure out ways to gain life. Now, I think an auto-include is this enchantment from Zendikar. Where is it? This thing, Shambling Vents. I love this thing. This is so good. So good. Add to deck. Okay, so now we just want vampires. And kind of a win condition. A really fun mythic I got the other day, and I don't really have a home for but it's cool, is this guy. And also he creates tokens. So I see a deck coming together. Whenever you gain life, I get a 4/4 indestructible horse. Not indestructible, but you know what I mean. I have this fun mythic, can't remember which set it's from. It's a support, Anointed Procession. When a creature token you control enters the battlefield, it is reinforced. That's fun. Okay, what other fun stuff can we do? Let's get some, oh, we should play with that, let's look at what we have for Ixalan. Revel in Riches. We were talking about trying that. I don't want to try it. Let's arrange these in ascending mana order. Here's some card draw. We'll think about that. Duress. We'll try this. And you could activate it twice, so you could conceivably give a creature +4/+. So yeah, that could be fine. Let's do that guy because he looks like fun. Did I skip 2 pages? No. Ooh, yeah, let's do Settle the Wreckage. Killing Contract. Do we want to try that? Let's try that. See, now I've maxed out my supports. I only have 3 creatures. I probably want at least 1 or 2 more. I'd like it to be a vampire. Oh boy. You know, this is one of these cards that doesn't have to even go in the pirate deck, just because it triggers off of something raiding. We're putting that in. That card is a blowout. Ooh, Paladin of the Bloodstained. Yep, you're in. See, now it's telling me, oh, you've put too many supports in. Okay, what does our deck look like? You know what? We wanted to go vampires. You're not a vampire. Easy cut. We still have too many supports. I think we're gonna take out. So that's removal. That's removal. I think this sounds like a lot of fun. Does this sound like more fun? Or does Raider's Wake sound like more fun? This you can just kill someone with. This, but it's a rare. I think we're gonna try that. Roll the dice. Now, since we were doing a vampire deck, I think there is one auto-include vampire we have to include. It's my favorite card in the whole set. I unlocked this one day as my random prize, my random card of the day. And who was it? Not only one of the most broken cards in the game, but just one of my favorite cards ever. Look at this thing. So here we have Olivia mobilized for war. She costs 20. That's a lot, but she's an 8/8. That's pretty awesome. When a creature you control enters the battlefield, including herself, you discard 1 card, and that creature gets +3/+3, flying, haste, and lifelink. This thing is absurd. You just win games with her. Just totally take over games. I darn near shit myself when I open this. And for free! People paid $50, and I don't blame them. This card's insane. I don't think I would pay $50 for this, but I would pay $10. I would have paid $10 for this if it was an exact one-for-one transaction. I don't want to pay 10 for a chance of opening a mythic that she's included in the prize pool. I want to pay $10 for this card. You know what I'm saying? Cool. Alright, we've got a pretty gross deck lined up. Let's go throw it against the wall, see what happens. Oh, also, so something I should mention, so Sorin is a black-white planeswalker, right? Samet was a red-green planeswalker. Can we fit this deck in either of these slots? Lose 3 or less creatures, take 10 or less damage. I don't know if that's going to happen. Cast 3 or more supports, cast 3 or less spells. We'll try here. Oh shoot, I'm dumb. We built that as a temporary deck, didn't we? Did we lose it? I think we lost it. What spot was it? Did we do it for Sylvan Advocate? Ah, we didn't save the deck. Well, that's embarrassing. Fortunately, I kind of remember what was in there. So there's another way you can do it. You can go to your Planeswalker. This used to be way worse. It used to be so hard to scroll to a guy you wanted. Oh, I can't. Son of a gun. Confirm. Alright, sorry gang. Let's go here. We're gonna try... we'll try and beat the Sphinx to this final word. Maybe we can kill 8 or more creatures. It's hard though, because he likes to give his creatures hexproof. Alright, let's rebuild this deck real fast. Boop, boop, boop. Olivia's like page 2, right? Ixalan. Let's just search for the rares and mythics in Ixalan, so we want that one. Settle the wreckage, yes. And let's get... where is it? This one's pretty good too, but I like this one for the lifelink. This one gives... Why does it say Death Touch? That's hilarious. This one gives a creature +3/+3 and hexproof. That's for 8. I mean, that's a big jump in power and toughness, and the hexproof lasts until your next turn, so it can, and it's your first creature, which most spells, a lot of spells I should say, target the first creature, so it can really screw things up. That's hilarious. That land has Death Touch. Alright, let's stick in our Ixalan cards. Nope, not you. You. We wanted that guy. I think we were doing that one. Killing Contract. Sword Point Diplomacy. You. And you? I feel like we're missing one. Killing Contract. We'll settle the wreckage. What else did we have in here? We're missing something. Oh, no, there's Paladin of the Bloodstained. Well, let's put Sword Point Diplomacy in. Ooh, no, let's do this. Sheltering Light. No, let's do the Diplomacy. I don't think it really makes sense for this deck. Trying to think if there's one more vampire that I wanted to include. I don't think so. This looks great. Don't back out of it, Rainier. Don't back out of it. Alright, let's give it a whirl. And then we'll probably wrap this up. Hopefully we win. Hopefully I don't get totally mana screwed and nothing happens this game. But yeah, so again, like that guy. That guy. Alright. So we have some good turn 1 plays. Ooh, nice. We're going to get that on. We're going to turn that off. So this guy's power is he gives each of his creatures hexproof flying, reach, and +3/+3. So reach is like the only way you can start killing him. So maybe I should have taken that prevent damage, but whatever. C'est la vie. Boop. And we got another one. Alright, I think we're gonna... So kind of the way I usually like to organize my hand is usually I will always put a creature almost always first, assuming it's something I can cast within the first 1 or 2 turns. If not, I like to have a piece of removal lined up or some ramp. Usually ramp, my opponent's deck has big beefy stuff, so he can't activate his ability until the turn after things have been in play. So we have a little bit of leeway in getting things killed. This would really help, so we're going to go for that. Yeah, I guess that's okay. We'll do that. Now, it put it right where it's easily breakable, so that's a little annoying, but... Alright, and when he's charged up, you see this little black parallelogram right here? It'll extend and it'll have a little symbol saying it's ready to roll. Ooh, we have a good free match right there. But Jory N draws him an extra card at the beginning of his turn, and we're just going to slow him down a little bit. That one's turned off, good. I like to kind of stagger him, so we kind of go kill spell creature, just kind of sets up a nice rhythm. Good. Yeah, we're gonna go for this black mana. Alright, we get to see what happens when we get 2 treasures. Well, I know what happens, but let's get some treasure. Cha-ching! Cha-ching! How great would it be if the sound was like the Sonic the Hedgehog ring sound? Ooh, can we crack it? No, not quite. Darn! Okay, so Soren's ability says gain 4 life and 2 mana for each creature you control. This is really good with things that that activate when you gain life. His second ability is when a creature you control attacks, you gain 4 life. And his last one, which is absolutely nuts, create a support with when you gain life, each of your creatures gets +4/+0. They forgot the plus in there. Permanently. So if you have a life gain deck, you can just your creatures can get topped off to 50-50-50. 50-50-50 so fast. But that's one of the harder ones to get to, but he was my favorite for a while because he could make long games. He could survive long game because he would gain so much life, and he had access to a ton of removal. And this is before I had Olivia even. And he could just survive a ton of damage, and then eventually he would get all of his stuff online, and his creatures would start gaining, they would gain like 20 power a turn, and just boom, 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 and it would just end really fast. Whump. Okay, that guy's kind of annoying. Oh no! Huh, he didn't activate his... Aww. Well, he didn't activate his ability. That's strange. We still want to get this out. Oh man, I want to get Sword Point Diplomacy out. That looks like so much fun! Alright, what is this? Okay, that's that activation. That is not our best play. I think this is our best play. Unfortunately, he got 2 creatures out, which means he's going to start making them flying, hexproof, blah blah blah. This creature, it can give your creatures unblockable. Yay! But more importantly, each creature you control, you get to draw a card when it deals damage. So that's more cards drawn than this guy. Though this thing has more toughness, so maybe I'll take this guy out. More treasure! I have decreed it. I like that the treasure tokens have different artwork. The guys doing the programming now, they get it. Like, Magic is all this wonderful artwork, and if you're not going to use it, then you can just shove off. Alright, I think what I want to do... We're going to lose some creatures this turn. Let's get the sword point out. I would love to activate this ability. Is there any way we can make that happen? That's his. That's mine. Ooh! I can get it. Okay. So what I'm going to do, we're going to cast this guy. We're going to activate this. It's going to give him +2/+2, making him an 8/8. He's going to smash into that. We're out of creature, but it's fine. It's fine. We're going to keep saving towards this. This isn't the most imperative. This is really handy to gain a bunch of mana if you're in a tight spot, but we're in not a lot of pressure, so we're going to keep saving towards this. And we'll get Sword Point Diplomacy online and Legion's Landing, hopefully, too. Fun, fun. Get him down. Oh, we got another one of them out. Cool. Crunch. And we got a bonus screaming monster sound. Okay, so right there he cracked one of my treasures. And it sure seems like he got more out of that than I did. Oh, these are the trap gems. So he can't, air quotes, see these. And the AI is pretty good about going like, well, I guess that seems like a totally reasonable pick, and, you know, screwing itself over. So it's gonna either draw some cards or take some damage or do some stuff. That'll be fun. Oh, nice. We got another one of those in our hand? Cool. So I think this is our best play here. It hits some of our gems, but it sets him up for a really good trap. Hopefully he'll go for one of these, though he might go for that one. Nope. Yeah, because he saw that activation gem. Again, air quotes, could see that activation. Hello? Alright, new plan. New plan, get Olivia online. Ooh! We did get this up and running, though. But now we have Olivia available. And that changes the game drastically. What's this? Okay, that's cool. So I have an activation gem for this, which is going to give us lifelink. It's going to give him lifelink. Is it worth gaining life, or do I just keep slamming towards Olivia? I think we slam towards Olivia. Because Olivia's kind of like game winning. We'll do this. We have to bust our enchantment a little bit. So you see the little numbers next to them? That's how many more times they can take damage before they go away forever. Oh, he died too? Poop. He got it off again? Come on. And he's... Ooh, here we go. This is actually really good against his deck with all his stupid hexproof indestructible stuff. I'd really like to get Olivia down, but... Alright, we're going to throw away some of our sword point diplomacy traps. But it'll be worth it, because we now have... Wait for it. An 11/11 flying haste lifelink monster. And we just lost one of our supports. That's too bad. Ooh, we got that online. Let's turn this off because we don't want that to cast accidentally. Let's get that back online because I think that got broken. But we're gonna put it after contract killing. And we're just gonna keep saving back up for the ultimate, because this is going to make Olivia nuts. And yeah. Hopefully he goes for that blue match and screw himself up. Oh yeah! so a creature entered the battlefield. So it got haste, lifelink, and all the other good stuff. Ha! Idiot! Oh yeah. But apparently he broke our enchantment, so that sucks. Let's get you going. Let's get this out, because I think this is going to be super fun. Wow, he just wrecked everything of ours. Oh, does that have a raid trigger when it enters the battlefield as well? Interesting. If I were to get it out, okay, got it. We figured it out. Let's put that into play. Make our vampires just huge threats. And we'll just proceed to win the game. Kill a thing, make treasures. Now normally with Soren's deck, there's a spell that kills a creature and gains you a little bit of life, which is really good for his deck, because it kills a creature and gives your creatures a buff, basically. And there's a little bit of, even if it gains you 0 health, the spell, the spell will gain you 0 health, but it counts as having gained health and it'll trigger everything. It's kind of broken. Yeah, just keep working towards that. Here's our play. We're gonna drop these white, and then these blacks will line up, and we'll get that bunch of mana there. Nice. And I'll have to start discarding cards and losing life because of it. And when a card doesn't specifically say discard from the top of your hand, it always discards your last card. Alright, what's this? Oh, see, now it kind of doesn't matter so much because things already have lifelink. But that's fine. Oops. Let's hide that away again. I'm going to go for this. Now this is something you don't usually want to see. All your supports all bunched up over on one corner. He can just move that over and do a bunch of damage there. What's really bad is if you have like 3 supports of the same color, you can just line 3 of them up and they'll just, they'll activate until one of them breaks. Oh good, look, I can shoot myself in the foot. So now he's hitting me, but it doesn't matter, I'm gaining so much life, I don't really care. Like a 7/7 is normally something I care about. Oh no! We're gonna lose Olivia! No! Crap. Well, that sucks. But I get one more of these. Let's just do this one more time. Just for the most damage humanly possible. Not even humanly possible, they're vampires. Vampirically possible. Pretty happy with that play. Wait, what? Oh, that was weird. Did you see it jump down to 4? That was really strange. Like, it went from like 7 to 4, didn't it? Very strange. Oh, you know what it did? It flashed, it showed it took 7 damage and went down to 4. That's what happened. We figured it out. So here's kind of the problem with not running a lot of creatures in your deck. You end up not being able to get creatures back out. It's kind of a bummer. And this thing specifically wants you to have lots of creatures attacking. More creatures! Oh yeah, here's a good move. Boom! Ooh! We got it to flip. I forget why it flips. Why does it flip? Ah, when you attack with a creature reinforced 2 or more times, transform this support. So, a new feature is this little thing. This says this has been reinforced 2 times. It's kind of neat. Okay, so I want to break this. Can I break that and break other stuff? Great. It's probably going to tell us that 10 more times, because technology is awesome. It doesn't look like it can. Oh well, that's fine. Nice! Whump. It's like if it... I don't even care if his creatures hit me at this point. Oh, that thing's bad news. So this card is pretty busted, but and they never bothered to fix it. Drowner of Hope. Whenever a colorless creature enters the battlefield, it disables all of my creatures, and it puts 4 in play. So it's like, it is pretty nuts. Oh, and Scions, instead of giving you 1, they have blocker, which is fine. They enter it as 1/1s. They give you 3 times the creature's power. So this is now worth 12 mana. Which is pretty gross. I want to get Settle the Wreckage. That looks super fun. Now, what can we do that is fun? We are here to have fun. This isn't really doing a lot for us. Oh! Dang. Let's just gain some mana. It's not a lot. It's only 2 mana towards Olivia, but we really want to get Olivia out. This will be interesting. I can't wait to see this thing wreck his face. Oh, and they get exiled too! Ha! No mana for you, dork. Uh-huh. Okay. Whoops, exiled. Sorry. Wow, that was cool. I kind of don't like that there's no animation for exile. They're just, boom, gone. If that ever happens, I have this bad habit of, I feel like whenever I look away from my phone for like a split second, like on my opponent's turn, I look back, like all my creatures have died. Suddenly they have like 3 huge creatures, and my hand is gone, and they have like all mana. Yeah, so yeah, that'll teach you to look away from your phone. If that happens, you can hit these. You can go to the battle log, and you can read the history of the fight. You can go like, holy crap, what just happened to all the creatures that were out a second ago? Well, let's see, where is it? I think they hide. Nope, that wasn't it. Nope. No, that's what he did. Where is it? Oath of Jace was triggered. Or Settle the Wreckage. Was it on this turn it happened? No? Was it on my turn? So I cast it, right? It's not showing all the effects of it. Oh well. One of these days, they're gonna end up putting something in here. It's like my graveyard, my opponent's graveyard. Look, there's even room for it right here. Graveyards. Show us the graveyards. Alright. Enough tomfoolery. That's what I say. We're gonna go like this. That didn't work. Oops. Sell the Wreckage, not get exiled? Do you guys see that? Does it not get exiled because the creatures get exiled before it can destroy the enchantment? Did we just encounter a game-breaking bug? Oh man. Oh man, oh man. Hey look, we got that kill 8 or more creatures. Nice. So we get, for doing the little achievement, okay, I'm gonna talk about this guy now. He's so like constipated looking. He's like, oh, my stomach doesn't feel good. Oh, sorry. That's just the narrative that goes on in my head. So we gained some points towards this achievement, and we got 1,200 of these crystals towards leveling up our Planeswalker. If you want to see how or what rewards are available or how far along you are on the rewards queue, you can click down there. If I gain a few more points, I get these crystals. These are used for unlocking Planeswalkers and buying packs. If I go a few more, I am guaranteed a Kaladesh rare, but I don't know what the rare is. It's random. Oh, random. So yeah. Kozilek is very hard. So is this guy. This guy sucks. We're not going to play him. I would just be swearing into the mic and throwing stuff. So yeah. That is the basis of the game. I love this game. I've been playing it for about 2 years. You can totally play it for free. I would pay for it, but they don't often have stuff I want to spend money on. They've just recently, since Booster Crafting came out, started putting these little $4 bundles out, which I think are a great idea, but they don't do them often enough. And unfortunately, I wanted Harness Lightning for the longest time. They didn't make it available until now. Well, the thing is I used Booster Crafting to get it ages ago, so now they're not getting that $4. Similarly, I was super hyped about Ixalan, and I was like, I will buy whatever dinosaur thing they put out first. Unfortunately, I opened all 3 of these cards. Well, not unfortunately. Very fortunately. But I want to give them money, because I love this game and I want to support it, but I don't want to spend it on, like, random stuff. That does not feel like a great value. Similar, I'm really excited to play with Hotly. $40 is so much for one. This would be like if you bought Fallout, right? You bought Fallout for $50, right? And they're like, guess what? We have a cool new DLC coming out. And you're like, whoa, awesome, what is it? And they're like, it's a gun. And you're like, okay, one gun, fine. New guns are cool. How much does it cost? $40. I'm not paying $40 for one gun. That's what this feels like, right? This is how much some games on Steam cost. You can buy like 8 games on Steam for that. You know, Skyrim was $50 back in the day. Totally worth it. This is way too much for a Planeswalker. Who cares about all this bundled shit? You're not going to get anything good in this pack. These are worthless. That's not even a pack of cards. The purple gems are a joke. I'm sorry, I'm getting really mean. This game's really fun. It's a little bit different than Magic. It took me a while to kind of wrap my head around the mechanics, but it's pretty simple. And it's a lot of fun. And it's good for just a few minutes. I played it for hours on end, much to my fiance's delight. I highly suggest you check it out. If you want, you can join my coalition. It's like a group where you do stuff and you earn points, and I don't quite get it. But I am... Where's me? There's me. And I am Team Stormcrow with a little flying bluebird. And there's a chat, but no one talks to me. I'm so lonely. Anyway, I'm trying to wrap this up, and I keep showing you stuff. Fun game, totally worth checking out. I hope you've enjoyed. I really enjoy talking about this game. I think next time we'll probably keep playing with new Ixalan cards. Maybe I'll build a deck, like a pirate deck, or try to make a merfolk deck, or I don't know. We'll just keep playing with it. Stay tuned. It's been fun. Thanks. And I go back here, and I go, bye-bye.